Good day, everybody. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth. It's your host, Rod. This is your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news and interviews. It is Thursday, January 29th. It's Crypto Bloodbath Day. We had a pullback on the S&P 500 as well, and I've been warning about this for at least a couple of weeks now. And it finally came to fruition. So we're going to bring up the price chart. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on where the prices could be heading. And let us know where you're tuning in from in the live chat as well. And I just realized I didn't share this out on socials, so I will do that real quick. I'll just shoot it out here on X, and we'll get started here in about 30 seconds. All right, let's get things kicked off. So the sell-off has accelerated here this morning. We'll discuss all of that and more, but as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And if you are new, subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos. I've been giving tons of price warnings, saying that we could see a lot more downside. So if you subscribe, tick the bell, you'll be notified the next time I give a price warning, whether it be to the downside or to the upside. And you can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. So like I said, I've been warning, screaming from the rooftops for the last while now, at least a couple of weeks, saying that we're more than likely going to see downside from here. If I scroll back down all the way to, this was over 2 weeks ago. I said, Hedera, more downside ahead, major price warning signal. Then I had a video on XRP, a descending triangle, saying a target of around 116 USD. Bitcoin had a weekly bear flag saying around 60,000. So I said I warned that. Again, that was over 2 weeks ago. Then I said I shorted this crypto. That was Monero XMR. Shorted it at just over 700. The thing hit $450. So it was very similar to the Zcash play. And then on another video, I said I closed my short position on Monero, and I went long on Litecoin, which has been holding up well, and then I shorted XRP. So I flipped short on XRP, which was right, where was it here? Too many videos. I just went short right here, XRP. So that was about a week ago. I said I just went short. Obviously, that's just in my trading account. I have a long-term bag as well, so no shortage of me screaming from the rooftop saying that we could see more downside from here. And I'll bring up the POW Group private community here as well. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, obviously you're missing out, because I gave 2 weeks heads up that this was going to happen. And the most likely scenario, it's not a guarantee, it's just probability. And I was saying, the majority of the clues, signals, patterns, indicators are saying more downside from here. And that's exactly what we got. And if I go over here and if you're not in the POW Group private community, I don't know what you're doing either. We got a free trial. You got to check it out, folks. You're missing out big time if you're not in here. I use it myself nonstop, and I've been in financial markets for almost 20 years, and I can't imagine living without it. So it's pretty special what we built here. And if I go over here to the trading channel, so I said this was Sunday, January 25th. Closed one of my XRP shorts, looking to enter another one. And then right here, XRP is a potential daily bear flag. I entered another short at the 0.32 fib at 194. Target is 160. Then 2 days ago on January 27th, I said I just entered a short on ETH. And then today, this is awesome. Let it all burn, because exactly what we had anticipated came to fruition. And again, it's not that we have a crystal ball. It's just that we look at all the signals, patterns, indicators, and whenever we have 80 to 90% saying bearish, well, we're going to be bearish. And you can see this is the short that I have open right now on XRP. So up about $419 at the moment. That's USD, so up almost $600 on that trade. And looking to continue that short position. If you're looking to open a short, this is on BTCC, so you can make money when the market goes down, which is a short, or you can long, use some leverage if you'd like, and there'll be links for this in the description in the comment section. It's also the sponsor of today's live stream video, and I use them, or as you can see, I wouldn't be promoting them if I didn't. And if you use the link in the description, there's a 10% bonus on your first time deposit over $500, and you can enjoy up to 40% lower trading fees. They have over 350 plus cryptocurrencies. They even have tokenized FX, tokenized stocks. They have Tesla on there. They have a tokenized version of MicroStrategy, Amazon, you name it. They even have tokenized gold, folks. So commodities, up to 500x leverage, no KYC, no VPN. You can set up your account in less than 2 minutes. Can't say enough good things about it. And like I said, you can join me, and you can make over $500 Canadian and go short, make money when the market goes down. So if you haven't already done so, check it out in the description. So as you can see, we are Bloodbath Central at the moment, and it could get a lot worse. So the key level to hold on Bitcoin is going to be 80,000. If we lose 80,000, the target is 60,000, the weekly bear flag, which I made that video way back when, a couple of weeks ago, over 2 weeks ago now, right here. So it's all about 80,000. If we lose 80,000, then the target is 60,000, and then same thing with XRP. If we lose 180, the target is 160. So very similar, just remove the one, and you're basically right there, 80 and 60. So that's as low as I could see it going. I don't think there would be, I don't think the scenario would be much lower than that. If it did get lower than 60, maybe it goes to like 55, and then a huge recovery. But personally, I do think that the top of Bitcoin is more than likely in this cycle, and it's more than likely the alt season show from here on out. But we'll see what happens. The Senate still needs to approve the Clarity Act, and it goes back to the House, and it goes to the President's desk, so a lot can happen. I still put it at around a 50-50 chance that it gets passed, but if it doesn't, regardless, one way or another, we're going to find out what the outcome is, and then I think they're going to leave it alone. So either it's going to pass or it's not going to pass over the next couple of months, and then there's going to be like a 2-year period where nothing happens. Okay, so it's either it gets passed and everything's hunky-dory, and that's it for legislation in regards to laws of the land and rules of the road for crypto, or it doesn't get passed and nothing happens for a couple of years, and then they retry again in 2 years. And then I think they're going to pivot over to MJ policy and drug policy at large, which music to your ear, I know, because this is a MJ-centric channel, and then we focus on crypto and blockchain secondarily. But if we take a look, at the market, we're starting to bounce here now. Hourly oversold bounce underway. SPY was selling off at the same time, so we had the whole broader market was selling off. We were looking at a potential daily bull flag there on SPY, but it didn't hold. We lost the 0.32 fib, so that's negated, and we'll see if we can change the daily trend. We lost the daily uptrend. We're no longer in an uptrend or a downtrend. We're flat. We're trying to confirm an uptrend here, but still could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit more downside from here. And like I said, Bitcoin probably going to lose 80,000 and head toward that 60,000 level. And we have a daily bull flag on SPY of 704. Yesterday we hit an all-time high of 697. So we came pretty damn close. We're within about 1% away, just a little over 1% away from that. But if we take a look at the losers on the day today, you got BAT, TEL, and Algo leading the decline today. And then if I bring up XRP, as you can see, did I not draw that? Might have been a different chart. Yeah, it was on the Coinbase one. Here we go. So as you can see, daily bear flag confirmed. That's where I entered short, right at 194. Couldn't even have played out any better. It was actually textbook. Just absolute slaying these trades lately. But yeah, imagine if you went like 200x or 500x on that, you'd have like 100 grand. Just didn't even, I entered at 194. We hit 194.40, and then that was the high. And then we pulled back. Wow. That would have been epic. Sometimes I surprise myself. But yeah, the target is 160. And then same thing with Bitcoin. Confirm the daily bear flag, and we're targeting 81,000 on there. And then, like I said, if we zoom out to the weekly time frame, we had the weekly bear flag as well, and that's targeting 60,000, as you can see here. And then XRP, the descending triangle as well. That one's saying as low as 116. And we're not yet weekly oversold. So watch weekly oversold to potentially mark a bottom here on a lot of these names. So how low could we go? I think, somewhere around that 60,000 on Bitcoin, somewhere around 160 on XRP, at least initially, and then maybe a relief rally. But I think XRP could drop all the way down to around 120. And again, watch for weekly oversold to mark a potential local bottom here. Same thing with Bitcoin, not yet weekly oversold. We got to around 60,000. That would put us definitely in the oversold range. And we did have a Powell Algo alert go off on Bitcoin, the bullish triple thunder, but ended up getting knocked back down under the 10-week moving average. So again, not surprising and uncommon to see this type of wyckoff accumulation and spring phase. And I think we're approaching that spring phase here now. So I'm pretty much closing all of my shorts over the next day or two, I would say, by the looks of this, the way things are heading at this rate. I'm going to be looking to close my shorts, and I've already got some long positions open on their spot positions on XRP. I'm looking to buy and go long. Let me know if you benefited from my warnings. If you were able to, I know there was some people in the PAL Group private community who took the trade with me and they were up. So I think Nick, kudos to you, Nick. I think you said you were up over 100% on that short. So congrats to you. And yeah, if anybody hasn't been subscribed to the channel or in the community, I know what you're doing. It's like every time I turn around, I tune into the odd content creator, and it's so funny. Like, no one has a damn clue what's going on. And I'm just like, why do you try to focus on the news, the mainstream media? Why not just look at the charts and see what the charts are saying? That's all you need, right? And I gave you 2 weeks heads up, almost 3 weeks, folks, that we were probably going to see tons of downside, and then here we are today, absolute bloodbath. And it's not even really a bloodbath. It's just the pullback before the major pullback. If we lose 80,000, it's going to get really bad, folks. So brace yourself. And yeah, next time, make sure you're subscribed to Pursuit of Wealth, because like I said, you would have been given a 2 weeks heads up. And if you're not in the PAL Group private community, again, I don't know what you're doing. There's so much value in here. It's not even funny. I honestly am not just trying to sell or promote anything just because it's mine. I truly believe this is the best community, crypto and MJ community. And yeah, it's really special what we built here. And you can just go here, click on free trial. There'll be links for this in the description as well from my website. You can join for a 48-hour free trial. Literally nothing to lose. Tilray stablecoin. I'm not sure what that means. JRL. Tilray stablecoin. They own Bitcoin and they're looking into tokenizing their stock, but no, a stablecoin is pegged 1-to-1 to a US dollar, so that doesn't really make any sense. Unless you mean Tilray's going to be tokenizing their stock. But stablecoins are pegged 1-to-1 to a fiat currency's value. Let it all burn, says Jam. Yeah, let it burn and then recover quickly, except Ethereum. That can just burn and never recover ever. And go straight to zero. I could care less. SNDL cheap, adding more shares. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and we'll just take a quick peek at MJ, actually, because, yeah, MJ, everything was selling off today. And I made a video saying that Tilray was going to 622. People are like, oh my god, this guy's crazy. What a fucking idiot. Like, you know what the market cap would be on Tilray if we got to $6.22? The same thing that it was back here in August of 2025, because we were just there. Oh, actually, we were 50% lower than that. So, you numbskull, yes, we can go to 622. We were just there in August, and we were actually lower than that, 50% lower than that in June. So it's so funny that people they don't have a damn clue what they're talking about. They just see a number on the screen on their little handheld device, their mobile cell phone, and they just look at the price and they say, oh, it can't go lower. It's like, but they're zoomed into this day. It's like, okay, we'll scroll back. Oh, just a few months ago, it was already at that price and 50% lower than that. And then, yeah, I said we had a daily bear flag as if, like, I made up the rules, right? Like, they're like, oh, he thinks it's going to 622. I was like, no, I'm reading the chart, and the chart says 622, not Rod, not Pursuit of Wealth podcast. This is what the chart is saying. And then people say, oh, the chart doesn't make it. Charting doesn't. It's all hocus pocus fantasy stuff. Okay, well, then why the hell are we almost there? And then CBD, we had two in a row. We hit the first one, and we're probably going lower. And then I mentioned CWBHF was basically the opposite. It didn't get the weakness memo, and it decided to invert the scale, right? This is what every other MJ chart looks like. It decided, we're not going to play around with that weakness nonsense. We're going to confirm daily bull flags, and we're going to face rip this rally. So there's lots of opportunities out there. But yeah, I mentioned Tilray probably heading to 622. I got ridiculed, and here we are, from the low of the day today, we're only 18% away. Could easily get there. And then MSOS, I said we're heading to 322, or 306, everybody laughed. And then here we are, 389. So you can laugh all you want, you can mock me all you want, you can do whatever, you can say that technical analysis doesn't work, but you're the only one losing. right? I was prepared 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, over 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago now, that we could see a lot more downside on MJ. We could see a lot more downside on crypto. And then today, I see so many people like, oh my God, what's going on? I'm so surprised. I'm like, how? Oh, right, you weren't subscribed to Pursuit of Wealth podcast, or you're not in the Power Group private community, or else you would have had me like harping on you just every 2 minutes saying, hey, bearish, bearish, bearish. And if you were like bullish, I'd call you an idiot because you're not grounded in reality, right? And like, I'm not trying to like, you know, like toot my own horn here or anything like that. It's just, I'm just dumbfounded. It's like I'm warning people for 2 weeks and they come on the channel and they're like, oh my God, did you see the bloodbath? Are you not surprised? It's like, okay, either you're only cherry picking and you're only watching a couple videos that interest you, or you're not watching them all or you're not in the Power Group private community, because if you were, oh man, you'd have so many heads up. Like, look at this. This was yesterday. I said, watch out. A couple of days ago, weakness picking up again. Yeah, so like I said, can't say enough good things about our community. We're almost 70 people in there now, and like I said, shout out to all the people who took that short trade as well. Like I said, we were all short on XRP on BTCC, and Nick, I think you're the winner with over 100% gain so far. But yeah, expect more downside. All right, let's take a look here. Looks like Parallel is making big moves in the US. Yeah, I didn't see that. To be honest, the economy is doing very bad globally. Well, I mean, what do you expect, right? Yeah, C-19 happens and all the governments around the world print trillions of... Like, I think the stat is over 50% of the money supply that's circulating right now in the US was added over the last, like, decade. Just let that sink in for a minute. It might even be higher than that. It might be like 80% or something like that. So when countries are printing trillions and trillions of dollars backed by nothing, you don't have to be a macro economist, Nobel Prize, rocket scientist, smartest man, woman of highest IQ person of the year award to figure out that, oh, the U.S. dollar is probably going to see some downside. The U.S. economy is probably going to see some downside. We're probably going to see some layoffs. We're probably going to return to a depression or a recession. I would say recession, bare minimum, maybe even a depression. And to quote Peter Schiff, he believes that the U.S. dollar is going to collapse worse than 2008. And I think that it very well could. Because what do you do when you print trillions and trillions of dollars backed by nothing, folks? It's not hard to figure out. The dollar's going to collapse. They're going to roll over the system into a new system. The New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, is developing another platform to run 24/7, 365 instant finality settlement. That's where the world is heading, folks. They're getting everything set up. I just logged into my government website here, my provincial in Alberta, and they already have a wallet section on the government of Alberta. What does that tell you? They're getting ready to roll everything over to digital IDs and digital wallets. They're going to collapse the U.S. dollar. They're going to collapse all the fiat currencies. Most are going to be fine, but a lot are probably going to, like Venezuela, look at that hyperinflation. But you're going to see the U.S. dollar completely collapse, right? Well, not completely. It's going to collapse. It's going to look like it's the demise of the dollar. Then it's going to recover. They're going to usher in the new financial system. They're going to peg it to different gold back, maybe different commodities, maybe even XRP, world reserve currency, and then they're going to roll over the system, and then the dollar is going to be even stronger than before because they're going to utilize the new system. It's going to create financial inclusion. Think of Starlight, Blue Origin, and Jeff Bezos. I think they just launched a new satellite company as well. And then you got Vast, which is Jed McCaleb, the co-creator of XRP Ledger, partnered with SpaceX. So you got all these things, right? They're creating all these satellites to create the new financial system. So many people, there's 2 billion people on the planet that are underbanked or unbanked. So when all these satellites go up, guess what they have? A cell phone. Guess what they get on there? Digital wallet. Guess what they can get on there? Crypto. Access to stable coins. Guess what? That's called financial inclusion. That's more fees. That's more commission, more fees for these big corporations. So everybody wins, right? Even the poor people who weren't able to afford a bank account or couldn't get to a bank account, couldn't afford the fees or Western Union or anything like that. It's going to cut it down to a fraction of a penny, a fraction of a fraction of a penny. Think about that. You can send millions of dollars of XRP on the XRP ledger for a fraction of a penny. A couple $100 million cost you a fraction of a penny? Sweet. That sounds like a solution for the future. Does Bitcoin or Ethereum sound like a solution for the future? Oh, we'll send it and wait 4 hours. Hopefully it gets there, and we'll pay, $50, $60, $200 in fees, or maybe $2,000 if it's congested enough. Oh, I want to buy a coffee for $5. It's going to cost me $50 in gas fees on Ethereum. Oh, well, yeah, I'll do that. I'll pay $55 for this coffee. No, it's not a solution for the future. It's a scam. It's fraud. It was all created as a test, right? Even Ethereum Foundation said it was created as a test. It's XRP. It's HBAR. It's Algo, it's the new ones. Those are the, like, Bitcoin and Ethereum are pets.com, right? Everything else is Amazon, Google. I mean, Ripple's by far Amazon. We already know that. And, I could go on for days, but it's going to get bad. It's going to get real bad, but then it's going to get really good because they're going to create financial inclusion. All these stablecoins are going to peg 1-to-1 to the US dollar. They're going to create all these T-bills, and it's going to create even more demand for the dollar. And they're going to back it by something, whether it be gold. Definitely going to be gold. Every time there's a new currency reset and monetary reset, it's always backed by gold. There's never been a time where it isn't. I think they're going to do all these ESDRs. They're going to do a basket. I think that's going to be gold. Probably going to have XRP in there. Maybe even silver. And there's probably going to be a repricing of gold as well. SLVU 2x silver leverage makes some money. Yeah, I mean, you need to do 2x leverage, right? Because, who cares about 100% gain? Like, that's why I kind of laugh whenever people are like, oh my God, this is an insane move on gold. It's like, yeah, it is. But again, don't look at the price. Look at the percentage. So XAU USD, let's say you bought this thing back in November of 2024, whenever I was doing newsletters basically saying that gold's going to 5,000, 4,000 easily, 5,000. This was like a year ago. I even have the newsletters to prove it. And I said, folks, but guess what? I don't put that much money into gold because why? If you bought it in November of 2024, you'd only be up 127%. There's some names that can do that in a day or two. So I just don't see the point unless you think the whole world's going to come to an end and this is the safe haven asset. Okay. But I just don't really. I own a little bit of gold. It's just I'm not here for 100% gain, folks. There's just better opportunities out there. So yeah, no wonder you're using leverage because it's not really that exciting. Should I just sell my MJ play? I'm in Oxley. It's been trading sideways, now down. Yeah, we just had a POW algo sell alert go off on Oxley. Again, I cringe when people are in positions and they say, should I get out and do this? Because that tells me you're chasing the next shiny object. You don't have conviction in your trades. You might have entered too much. You went a little too heavy, risked more than you were willing to lose. I'm not selling any MJ, I'm buying. And once I sell my crypto, once I take 80 to 90% of my crypto profits, I'll hold 10 to 20% forever. But once I take 80% or 90% of my profits in crypto this cycle, I'm going to rotate that even more into beating down MJ, maybe 10 to 20% of those profits. But no, I wouldn't be selling MJ here. There's too much on the horizon. I am expecting more downside for MJ, but I'll just buy at those downside targets. I'm not going to sell here. I think silver has much more room upside. Yeah, it definitely could keep going. It's going to pull back 20-30% easily, though, once weekly consolidation happens. But there's no sign of that at all. I made a video saying once weekly consolidation, and folks, this is going on 14 weeks without any weekly consolidation. So the next time we lose the low of the previous weekly candle, expect a 20-30% pullback, and that'll just be healthy. In fact, it's a bull flag. If we were to start weekly consolidation, we could pull back to $83 and still be a weekly bull flag. And I know this is convoluted here, but I'll draw it here. So, if we could pull back all the way to $83 and still be a weekly bull flag and then come back up and target 227. So, yeah, that's possible. Or you could just keep going up from here and then start weekly consolidation in a couple weeks from now. But again, it's not about predicting. It's just about reacting. And the clear level here and the clear pattern is once weekly consolidation. What's consolidation? We're pulling back. We're losing the low of the previous candle. So keep it simple. The next time we see weekly consolidation, 20-30% pullback minimum, I would say. And if you're surprised by a 20-30% pullback after it just ran 163%, shame on you. You need to do some work. You need to do some homework. You should expect that. I'd be surprised if it didn't happen, to be honest. All right. Jam says, where is the next support on Cronrod? I'm looking to buy some more at some point. So daily bear flag here as well. So if we go from the high to the low there, yeah, we rejected right at the 0.32 fib, so textbook so far. Target is 207. So maybe try to get it around 207 and then $2. Major support. SPY algo alert hit earlier too. Yeah, it sure did. Thank you. You're very welcome. Also, for people on here joining or watching, keep an eye on metals top for crypto rotation. Absolutely, I agree. Weekly consolidation will be a huge clue. I think that's where it could potentially start to begin rotation. But then, like I said, even if silver were to start weekly consolidation, it's a potential weekly bull flag as long as it holds 83. So maybe we see the bull flag confirm and then full-blown rotation in alt season. But I think that we'll see early signs of rotation and a potential bottom forming once we have weekly consolidation on precious metals. But thanks, Jam, for that. That's a great point. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. I try not to keep these live streams too long these days, just because when it's over 30 minutes, people are like, oh, I don't have 30 minutes to invest in myself or my family's future and my family's future. What do you mean? I don't care about my family enough to invest 30 minutes, 30 seconds. I got 30 seconds, that's it, but for my family and to support myself and my family for the generations to come. You know, I just only have 30 seconds when it comes to my family. So it's pretty sad, actually. Like I just kind of laugh when people say, like I see all the time, like all these stats about how YouTube shorts are blowing up, and I'm just like, those are literally toxic. Like most YouTube shorts, they're just there for clickbait, and they give you no value. And yeah, like folks, you need to invest in yourself, invest in your family, invest in your future, invest in your knowledge. And yeah, if you were surprised by this pullback today, I have no idea why. I've literally been giving, unless you just subscribe to the channel, because I've literally been giving heads up for over 2 weeks. Major crash incoming. More downside ahead. Major price warning signal on Hedera. Like, could I have been any more? Folks, if I'm not clear enough, what could I have done differently? All right. Now I'm just having a little fun at this point. Gonna wrap it up. Thank you, Rod. No problem at all, champ. Happy to help as always. All right, going in it there, like I said, I know it's rough, but that's why, you know, it helps to have a trading account too, right? Like if you're only long, obviously I have my long account, my long-term bags in crypto, and my long-term bag was feeling the heat today. But I have a trading account, and I made quite a bit of money on my trades today. It helps offset some of the weakness in your long-term portfolio, helps with your psychological effect and your mental, you know, your emotions and all of these things that is designed to make you lose, right? So if we can just get those small wins when we're having big losses, that helps, right? And, you know, eventually we'll be rewarded. I think still when it comes to crypto, time in the market is better than timing the market. Once we see full-blown alt season, and like I said, I take 80 to 90% of my crypto profits, then it's going to be timing the market. I'm going to be doing way more trading, like 80% of what I do is going to be trading, and my capital is going to be allocated to trading. The other 10 to 20% I'll leave long term, or rotate into some other plays, obviously, like I mentioned, MJ. All right, going in it there, it's Rod again. Thanks for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. We'll continue the conversation there. And make sure to check out BTCC as well, the sponsor of today's video, in the description and in the comment section as well. You get 10% on your first time deposit, up to 40% lower trading fees, and you can short the market, use some leverage, make money when the market goes down, all of the above. All right, have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one.